And today we're going to be using this as our basic ingredients. Hey y'all, APG Jamie here. And today we're going to make some flower specimen bits. They're actually kind of large to be bits. Why did I call them bits? I don't know. Anywho, boo-boos. This is some marbled paper that we marbled with the acrylic paint a while back. Hopefully I can link to it in the description box below the video, which is no longer a box, and upper right hand corner. So I've cut them down to the size that I wanted, and for some reason the black cardstock is larger than the marbling. Now, how does that happen when you cut it in half and half? I don't know. So I've got these dies. Oh, there's a list of ingredients in the description below the video. Click on ... more to see more information. So I'm using washi tape, some unattractive to me washi tape to tape down the die where I've mostly got it centered, eyeballs centered, and we're doing that for the front and the back. And I do recommend you try to keep a front and a back together as a pair. It could make a difference, right? Just saying. So anyway, you like rulers? Use rulers. Okay, you go with eyeballing? Eyeball. So we cut all of those, and those innards, of course, I've kept holding on to them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but you bet I'll do something. And now we have just zipped right along to our this is packaging, you know, the cellophane type packaging that comes around your stamps and dies and whatnot stuff. That's what this is. I like to use it so that one side stays connected to each other. You know, the fold of the packaging stays connected. It just seems easier. And it's not that easy, speaking of easy, to cut this slick slidery, hard to see packaging, clear plastic stuff. Okay? So you have that. Now cut them down smaller than my outside measurement, but larger than the opening because we're going to be sticking it inside. Okay. Oh, we're using, of course, the name probably told you that, flower specimens, y'all. We are using dried and pressed flowers. These are flowers that you get in the springtime or whenever they're blooming, just whenever. And if you're going to do this, you want to keep to small-ish flowers, okay? Well, teeny tiny. Sometimes that works too. And it is smaller. So anyway, I have some hydrangeas, and I know they're hydrangeas because they come off of my hydrangea bush. Them's the hydrangeas. And some of them is a whole little bunch group of them. I'm like, well, that's beautimous. And so we're going to use those. And then I have a whole pile of folded papers because when I get flowers or leaves, okay, could do this with leaves, I will put them between a folded piece of paper and then smash it under a heavy book right away. Popo, you do that right away so they don't get all icky. All right? Okay. So these are, I don't know what, a lot of these, I don't know what they are. They were wildflower weeds, you know, when I go walking the dogs that are over there. All right? And then I've got that one. I don't know what that is. Hopefully it's not a bad one. I don't know. But I like it and it looks good back there. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to do that. And you do want to try to use tweezers with these things on account of they're dry and they are pretty fragile. Some more fragile than others. Look at that cool leaf, y'all. That's a vine. And when the bigger the leaves get, the more ruffly they get. It's very cool looking. Any hootaboos. See how translucent they are too. Just had to throw that in there because it's true. So I'm planning on doing 6 of these little things. So I'm trying to pull out 6 of mostly the same thing. I don't quite make it. So anyway, we're going to look through all of the ones I have. I really should do some kind of a book or an organization thing on that, because I want one more thing. So I'm going to try on very many different things. Okay. And I like that, but I only have 2 or 3 or 4 of those. I don't have very many. That is the flowering part of that bush. Y'all know that bush that smells stinky. Some people like it. I don't like it. It's stinky to me. Anyway, I pulled some of them off, and that's what those are. And I liked it. I thought, well, that's pretty, but I only have 4, so I have to keep going. And I tried that yellow, little tiny yellow flower on there, and I thought, no, I don't like that. And I just cut some out, and we really zipped through. And then I have those dark fuchsia ones. Those may be, I'm not sure, they may be a morning glory or a 4 o'clock. I don't know. Okay? Because they both grow, well, they used to both grow wild in the woods, on the woods, by the woods, across the street that they have now partially cut down. It's been a year, but anyway, they only seem to have cut it down in front of our house. Just saying, just complaining. So, because this is a large specimen thing that I am using diamond glaze. I'm just dotting that on the back sides that I'm gluing onto the plastic, okay, inside the fold. Dotting, not covering, just dotting. This will help ensure that these little precious bits don't slide around. Okay, you don't want them to slide around because that's when they start getting all crumbly and stuff. And now I'm trying my outside frame on to make sure that I got that pretty well centered up, kind of mostly the way I want it, because that's just how it's going to be, because we diddy dot, okay? You won't be able to see it that well from the other side. Well, unless you really look at it, you'd be like, oh, I'm examining this, okay? And then it might show up, all right? But you have to leave these open for that to dry a little while. How long's a little while? I don't know. How humid is your space? I don't know. So, got that out of the way. Diddy dot and this. I'm showing you 2 of them, okay? And that one we used the dark fuchsia flower. Are we going to put that white stinky flower on there? I don't know which one. Nope, we're gonna go with that. And some of these are fuller looking, what should we call that? Fuller looking little doolollies, and some are not, but that's okay. So we're going to use paper dolls because you know I like my paper dolls. Well, some of them have little bits that didn't get cut out at the manufacturer because they weren't programmed to be cut out, but they bother me sometimes. So I'm cutting them out. She had one down at her feet, and I used the scissors for that one. But this one, I can't use it. Well, I guess I could have used the scissors, but I didn't. I'm using a craft knife, okay? And that's from Harbor Freight. It's got a replaceable blade, blah, blah, blah. So we're trimming that out because it bothers me. I do not ink around my paper dolls. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I realized once I was done, I didn't, excuse me, y'all, I didn't even blush their little cheeks. Y'all, what was I thinking? Obviously not. Nothing. So, I don't know if I will go back and blush them or not. I don't know. So, we got all that. And then we're coming back to our front. Because see, those things have been over there drying now for I don't know how long. A little while. So I'm using double-sided tape. My experience with the packaging stuff is double-sided tape is way more butter than glue, okay? And we're going to put some on the back frame, okay? Because this is kind of prep work for something else. If I end up making something else, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know when I'll get to it. Anywho, I didn't want it stuck just yet. I'm trying to center up my image. Oh, and when nobody was looking, especially the camera wasn't looking, I went through my little word box. Y'all know I like my words. And I found several of the same word. I must like that word. Can you guess what it is? Serendipity. Anyway, so this is just sticking the back part, because remember, our cellophane is a fold. It's a fold, okay? And our flowers are inside the fold. So we got a front and a back cellophane with the flowers tucked on the inside, okay? So we've done that. We have taped our plastic to the back frame. We have taped our cellophane on the inside so the cellophane sticks to the cellophane. Now, I'm not worried about the flowers coming out on account of we put little ditty dots of the diamond glaze, okay? Glossy accents would probably work too, but I currently don't have any, so we're not using it. I have diamond glaze currently. So, now we've done double-sided tape on the top part of the cellophane flap, and we are putting glue around the cardstock edge, okay? And we're centering it up, and this is when I find out, for whatever bizarro reason, it's a slightly different size. Now, it ought not be, because I measured it on my little trimmer there, okay? So, I don't know what's up with that. But I ended up having trimmed darn near every one of them. So that tells me that black cardstock is actually slightly larger than 8.5 by 11. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Just so you know. Slightly larger. Because it weren't me. Okay? So. Anywho, I will press on. I'm like, okay, well, does this one line up? Well, the ones that I measured at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, okay, because that's a 1/2 and 1/2, those were fine. It was the leftover bit that should have been the same size that was slightly larger. Anyway, and if that doesn't make any sense, just don't even worry about it. So we just keep doing this for all of them. Oh, and the little sentiment I glued on there as well, because I didn't want that sliding around inside either. Because these are actually bigger than bits, aren't they? Huh. Oh, well, it sounds cute, though. Flower specimen bits. Anyway, they are pressed and dried because they've been under books. Heavy book, not inside. They've been inside a piece of paper, inside a heavy, big old giant medical giant dictionary. Giant, I'm telling you. So I'm just showing you a second one because you need to see a second one. Now I've got my little paper dolls all lined up over there. So we will be ready for those whenever we're ready for those. So we double side the back cellophane, we double side inside cellophane, and we double side tape on the outside top cellophane. Okay? You don't have to use a ton of double side glue on account of we stuck our flowers in there with the diamond glaze. All right? And the outside doesn't have to be perfectly stuck either because we're going to sew around it. But I didn't film that part. I guess I could have, but I didn't. So, I used a combination straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. So we have a little bit of straight, and then we have a little ziggy-zaggy. And we have some straight, then we have some ziggy-zaggy. And none of them are exactly the same. What I did make sure I did the same thing was I started in the upper left corner and went around clockwise, okay? So some of my girls are little, this one's got her elbow up like she's leaning on something. So she's going to have to be on a special flower. And then I've got one of my words that's kind of scooched it way over for whatever bizarre reason. And we got to be careful with that one too. But you're going to get to see me glue on every one of my paper doll girls. Okay? Let me take a swallow of coffee. Any hoobables. We're using Aleene's original tacky glue on account it's my favorite. And these are somewhat heavy-ish, and we are only gluing a little bit on the side there that sticks to the cardstock. I know you can see it from the other side, but like I said, this is allegedly, I don't know how well that's going to go, prep for a future project, which may or may not happen. I don't know. So I'm like, which one? Which one? I don't know. I keep flip-flopping around, and I'm like, well, now I'm all confused, which is pretty much standard state, y'all. And I think I will finally find one. I will find one. I'll be like, oh, that's perfect. Is that perfect? Yep, that's the one. That's the winner, chicken dinner. So, some of these paper dolls are from the 2020 packages. You know, the copyright 2020. Okay, you could buy them now and you still get 2020 packages. And then some of them are 2021 packages. Once I realized there was a difference, I started paying attention to that. So, any hoobles. That's our word that's way over on this side. And I'm like, oh, I don't even. Oh, there we go. She's the one. The little, look at my dress, girl. So, we're just tippy-tapping glue because I really don't want too much glue smooshing over on the plastic. I don't know why. I just didn't because, you know, it was easier for me, I guess. I don't know. So it's like, yeah, there she is. Perfect. Look at my dress, she says. Oh, look at my new dress Mother just made me. I don't know who made it. Anyway, one of the girls is pretty put out looking. The next one, or the one with the little flowers hanging down, she's like, oh, I'm so sad. I really don't want to take my picture. I don't want to do this. Anyway, this one's a defiant girl. I don't know. They all do have kind of different looks about them. And I'm like, yeah. And that's our reader. She's got the book, so she knows how to read. Okay, she's fancy. She's an educated girl. God. This one, they're all different. But they're so cute. I love them all. I love them all. There's only a couple of the paper dolls, portraits, photo booth, picture cards, cabinet cards from Tim Holtz that I just can't use that one. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time for our show off. Okay. So we got that. See, I'm showing you the back. Back doesn't much matter, okay, because this is prep work for a future project, but I'm showing you every one of them. I know you're thinking, well, you could see that little diamond glazed diddy dot, but you really can't. You really have to examine it to be able to see it, okay? So, anyway. This is almost real time, y'all. Well, the rest of the video was speeded out. A little bit was cut out, but, you know, whatever. I love them. They're so cute. So stinking cute, y'all. Adorable. Just adorable, y'all. So now we're going to line them all up. And we'll do our ta-da hands in a minute. You have to wait for it. Watch the whole thing. I'm telling you right now. Watch the whole thing. Look at them. They're the same, but they're different. Ta-da! Photo montage. These were fun and very entertaining for me to play with. I do recommend using the tweezers on account of they are fragile. Them flowers can be quite fragile. So, our They're cute, y'all. I may have to go and blush her cheeks now that I don't know. Well, maybe I won't never. Won't never. They're so cute. And I kind of like the loose threads over there. I don't know. Sometimes that bothers me. Sometimes it doesn't. So, there we go. She's so jealous. Where's my picture taken? Y'all. So funny. Serendipity. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. And happy arting, y'all.